Welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. We bring you the OGs and we also bring you the up and comers. So today's guest comes to us by way of request. So, as we say many times, if you have any people that you're interested in getting on the show, please do hit us up. We are open to all suggestions. Today's guest has a very famous surname. We are looking forward to getting to know this guy. He's been on the scene for many years, even though he is only 17 years old. He's got a pretty famous family, and we're really looking forward to getting to know the blue belt from Boon Chu on the Gold Coast, 17-year-old Jesse James Parr. Thanks for joining us, Jesse.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on here.
Awesome, mate. Thank you for coming on. As Kim mentioned, we do have up and comers, we do have OGs. Your family fits into that. You come from a legit fighting family, so not just your dad, but your mum as well.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about like the early days for you growing up? Did you get to see like your dad fight? Were you there for that?
Yeah, absolutely. My early years it was always about fighting. From a very young age, I was in the gym just kicking pads of my dad, to be honest. When I was walking, I was kicking. Yeah, I watched my dad fight many times. I was watching when he had his own promotion, CMT, so that was the cage Muay Thai. So that was before like one championship had the cage Muay Thai, so it was in the cage and then just fights were bangers back in the day. Like it was crazy. I was like 3, 4 years old looking at this, like, "Oh, I want to do this one day. Like this looks crazy." But yeah, I was in the gym every day as a little kid, and then when I'd go to school, I would come home and then get ready and go straight to the gym. So fighting's always been in my life at a point. Um, and yeah, super cool growing up like that. Definitely
So,
different from the other kids.
yeah, mate. So my first question to you, you've brought it up. So you're like your dad's, world famous, like
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
Um, you go to school, kids know who your dad is, know who you are. Were you bullied as a kid, or were you like, as you say, 4, 5, 6 years old, like no one was touching you? Like, did you get picked on because of who your dad was?
No, I was lucky enough not to get picked on or bullied. I made a lot of friends actually because of that, so it was good. Primary school days and the early days, it was really fun. School was fun, and then the high school, everyone knew my dad and my sister, so it was really good. It was easy to make friends that way, and everyone knew I was a fighter, so it was good.
So there was never a question of you not following on in your family footsteps. Were there ever periods of time where you're like, look, this is not for me. I just want to take a break. I don't want to do this anymore.
I had a couple breaks when I was really young. When I was 8 years old, I had my first Muay Thai fight, and then I did Muay Thai from 1 years old to now basically. But I had a period where I was fighting Muay Thai from 8 to 11. And then on my last fight, I got really badly injured in my rib. I broke my rib, my last Muay Thai fight. And then after that, I kind of fell out of love with Muay Thai, just because like I was young and I just I couldn't get back into the sport just because like I was scared to get back in there for a bit. And then I just had that period of 6 to 8 months where I just stayed at home and played video games. And my parents would go to the gym and ask, Jess, you want to come to the gym? And I'd say, I'm going to stay home. And yeah, I had that period where wasn't doing much, and I regret that a little bit, but it made me find jiu-jitsu, which absolutely changed my life. My mom was doing jiu-jitsu at a gym called Collective under Daniel Levy. It was in Tweed Heads, and my mom was going, and then she was like, Jesse, I really want you to try jiu-jitsu with me, just because you're not doing anything, just want you to try. And I was like, all right, I'll try jiu-jitsu. When I was first doing jiu-jitsu, I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh, this is not for me. And then my mom was like, please, I want you to try, keep coming. She kept persuading me, and then I kept coming. I kept coming. I didn't really like it. And then at a point, I started really liking it, and I was like, oh, I'm actually really liking jiu-jitsu. And I was going like maybe 2 times a week, not even. And then all of a sudden I was going 5 times a week, and then I was going every single day, 2 times a day. And then now I'm going to America and training 5 hour days in Texas, getting ready for world championships. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Those early days, mate. So when you got injured and then you get into jiu-jitsu, one of the things I always kind of talk to people about when they first start jiu-jitsu and they're worried about injuries, the first thing I always say is like you'll probably get a rib injury because you're not used to that compression. Someone's on top of you, you're kind of getting squished or whatever. So
Yeah.
obviously by then your ribs were kind of pretty well healed. Did you have any effects or do you still have any effects from that first fight that you had, or well, from that fight that you got injured?
At the moment, no. Unfortunately, not. I let it heal by itself, but it was a while. It took a while to heal and properly like breathe normally again because that was sucked. With the ribs, you can't do much.
Yeah,
You can literally like just let it heal on its own. But yeah, I'm lucky enough to not. I haven't had anything to it too bad, which I'm surprised with jiu-jitsu because there's a lot of rib stuff with jiu-jitsu. But it's been fine through jiu-jitsu, so been fortunate enough.
And what would you say to particularly kids who are going through like a bit of a period of not wanting to train, whether it's Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, or whatever? Given that
Hmm.
you sound like you had an experience like that, would you suggest they just push through it? Would you suggest that they kind of take a break? What do you think?
Honestly, I think as a kid, as like a young kid growing up, jiu-jitsu is definitely the best thing for them. Not even as an athlete, but as a person as well. It creates so much. It creates discipline, respect, and much more than that. Like I can definitely say as a person, I've grown so much from jiu-jitsu. Like as a person, you can ask my professor, like Daniel Almeida. When I first started jiu-jitsu, I was so shy. I couldn't speak to anybody. Like, and then now I'm the most out. I'm the outest person. You know, I'll go up to random people and be like, "How are you? Are you good?" Like I'll literally like, because jiu-jitsu made me do that. It made me create friends with people I don't know. And like I feel like it's really good for the kids that like are like kind of like, oh, like I don't really know if I like this. I recommend keep pushing them, or just even having like a 2 week break. Like 2 week break never hurts them. But I always recommend to keep pushing them to trying, even if they want to like take like if they're going 2 times a week, just go once a week and like. But I try to recommend just like as soon as I have kids, they're going straight into jiu-jitsu. There's no question about that.
don't go and create any head trauma by doing Muay Thai, mate. Just straight into jiu-jitsu, right?
Exactly. I feel like for the foundation and the balance, jiu-jitsu is the best. And then after that, we can get into some Muay Thai and some head punches.
I think one of the things, Jesse, you're talking about is like every saying has different aspects, and it comes from different places. And
Mm.
one of the jiu-jitsu sayings is like, be comfortable being uncomfortable and those sorts of things, right?
Hmm.
Is that kind of what you were talking about in regards to, what you learned as a young guy coming up through the jiu-jitsu sort of scene as a teenager, where you're rolling with probably you're not just rolling with kids, you're rolling with adults and you're rolling with women, you're rolling with old blokes like me. Like, is that kind of what you're saying that you had to grow through?
Yeah, absolutely. Being comfortable in the uncomfortable moments is so important, especially in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Rolling with different ages. Like I roll with like some kids that are 3 years old. I roll with people that are, I think oldest person I rolled with is like 85.
Wow.
And I'm like, how are you doing jiu-jitsu, man? This is crazy. The way he's like, I just keep my body nice and recovered, you know. He does a lot of recovery, I was rolling with him, and he felt like I was rolling with like a 30-year-old. I was like, wow, you're you're feeling good, man. But yeah, rolling with those kind of people, you got to kind of learn how to roll. I'm not gonna roll with this. I'm not gonna roll the same with a 20-year-old that I am gonna roll with like a woman, like a grown woman, you know. But definitely, there's definitely ways to get around it. But I try to get it like just keep it as fun as possible. You know, every role is fun to me. Even if it's a competition role, it's fun to me. Like I like if you see me rolling, sometimes I'll be getting ready for a comp. I'm in positions. I'm like nodding my head, listening to music, and like I like to have beats playing when I'm rolling, especially. It's funny. But being comfortable in uncomfortable moments is the most important thing you can have as a jiu-jitsu athlete, in my opinion.
And speaking of competition, so I missed it from the intro, but you actually double bronzed at Nogi Worlds at the end of
Yeah,
25. So you were over in the US prior to that, is that right? Like training
that's
for
correct. Yeah,
that? Can
that's
you tell
correct.
us a bit
Yeah.
about both the training and the tournament?
Yeah. So I was in Texas. I was in Midland, Texas for about 5 weeks, training with Bruno Bastos. I was unfamiliar with my surroundings. I was away from my family. I was all sorts of uncomfortableness in that where I was staying. And I was training 5 hours a day, which was really good. So some days I'd wake up at 4:45, some days I wake up at like 5:50 a.m., waking up early mornings, and then I would be training from early mornings, 2 hours in the morning, about an hour in the afternoon, from like 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And then I'd go back home, eat some food, go back to the gym, and just train for another 3 to 4 hours. And that kind of training really pushed me as a person as well because my body and my mind was getting tired from eating right, sleeping right, training right. It's just everything had to be perfect for this camp, in my opinion. And I was actually fortunate enough that everything was going perfect. I was no injuries, I was really lucky with no injuries. Um, but the training was amazing. I couldn't ask for a better coach, Bruno Bastos. He took care of me for about 5 weeks. He took me as one of his own. He's one of the best coaches and mental coaches that you could ask for. I can ask him questions about anything and he'll answer them truthfully. He's got very, very highly successful competitors. He's got that one girl, Cassia Mora. She just won the Europeans. She is great. I was rolling with her, getting ready for Nogi Worlds with her in Texas, rolling with her every day, and she would push me to the max. She has bigger muscles than me. I don't know how, but she has the same arm size as me, which I don't know how it works, but she works just as hard as everyone. Not like she works even harder. She was getting ready for the crown, the IBJJF crown, while I was there, and so we would do 5 hour training days, and then after the 5 hour training days, we'd finish, and then she would have shark take rounds at the very end of class. And then yeah, and then the way that I see how Bruno pushes his students, it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, the training was really thought out. The training, yeah, it was perfect training. I was eating right, sleeping right, and training right. Um, Feeling good all the way up to the competition. I was in a division of 14 people. I was gonna have 3 matches till gold in my division. I won my first match by submission, and then unfortunately I lost my second match by 2 points. I was so annoyed by that, but it's part of as a competitor to lose, and to grow. Um, and then after I podiumed, get my bronze, I was so I really wanted my revenge in the open weight. So I signed up for open weight, chilled, warmed up again, and then had my open weight. I felt really good. I won 2 matches by submission, and by the third match, I was feeling really confident. And then again, just got lost in the points, lost by 2 points, and ended up getting double bronze, which it's not anyone's fault but mine. It just wasn't my day. But honestly, the training was really well. I want to say a big thank you to Bruno Bastos for taking care of me for that time. And I really want to do it again this year as an adult. My first adult year as a jiu-jitsu athlete, which would be really exciting.
Your time will come, mate, for sure. We all know that.
Thank you.
That even when Kim said like double bronze, you could kind of see you go like
Yeah, I know.
so many of us like podium at like that level, and we're really happy.
hmm
And we see it as a success. Is that kind of how you saw it, or were you like, did you see it as a failure? Did you see it as a success, or did you see it as, well, that's where I am, and these are things to learn from?
I absolutely saw it as a success. I never
Good,
take my
awesome.
losses. I never take my losses as a downfall. With the saying, "You either win or you learn." I think I learn either or. Like if I win, I learn. If I lose, I learn.
Yeah,
But honestly, yeah, I felt it as a success. Like me growing as a person. I've been going to America since I was 14 for Pan Kids and Worlds. I think that was my fourth year competing in America, and that was like my first time placing in like 3 years. So honestly, I know some world champions that lost 10 times and won the 11th time.
Yeah.
And it's honestly just never giving up, you know? You can train, like I said, I was training perfectly, I was eating perfectly, nothing was going wrong in that camp, it just wasn't my day. And all I gotta do is just train harder.
That's
That's
good.
the only thing that's gonna happen.
That's really good to hear, mate. Like it really is. You know,
Absolutely.
like I heard a podcast with Grant Hackett, who's the swimmer. Do you know who he is?
No, I'm not
So
sure.
Before your
Grant
time,
Hackett
mate.
is a
Yeah,
very, very
he's from our
famous.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a famous Olympian, right? And he's a 1500-meter swimmer, and he won a whole bunch of gold medals at the Olympics.
Yeah.
He won, I think he won 2 silvers or a silver. And he
Okay.
was asked the question, like, how do you see your silvers? And he literally just went, oh, they're failures.
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah. To me, it's really like that. Something like that's really, really hard to hear because sometimes it might not be your day. And to look at it as a failure, I think is not right. So it's
Yeah.
really cool that, at 17 and like your last year kind of in that juvenile division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to sit there podium and you see it as a success, mate. So congratulations on that. I think that's really important.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely know a lot of competitors that are hard on themselves for that. And all I just gotta say is just have fun, you know. As a juvenile, I've still got my whole life ahead of me. And when they take that loss, heartbreaking, it can set you back. It can either make or break you, you know. And I like to just think it's all a learning curve for me. Like I'm learning no matter what.
And speaking of juveniles, you've had, I think you've had a couple of matches, and you certainly had one at Fusion with Mohammed Bikai.
Hmm.
Originally, we were going to look at maybe getting the both of you on together, but we thought we'll do you separately just so we can really chat with you properly.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Is it like a rivalry, or tell me a bit about what happened at Fusion?
Uh, what happened at Fusion was just business, you know. Mohammed was my friend before that. I've known him for a while. But it was funny because that was like the third time we versed each other. So we versed each other when we were grey belts. I beat him by like one advantage, and then we versed at nationals when I was 16, and he beat me by 2 points. And then it was just right to get us on that fusion match on for the bell, and it was just with all the pennies on that one. So that match was really fun. I think that was my favorite matches I've had so far, just because it was really fun. It was in front of a crowd and all in front of those lights, in front of those cameras. Me personally, I really love the pressure. When there's a lot of pressure on me, it makes me perform my best. To be in like Muhammad's territory in Melbourne, because that's not where I'm from, the Gold Coast. I'm where the beach is at. Muhammad's was in the city. It was really good. I was like walking out, not many cheers for me, and then when Muhammad walked out, it was this whole gym was there, and I was like, oh, this is real. But that match was really fun. I was really happy the way I competed with Muhammad then.
If you haven't seen that match, I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube. It must be there, or any of the go back through the Fusion Fighting Championship Instagram page.
Yeah,
The whole match, was it a 10-minute match? I think, huh?
I
Like
think it was 8 minutes. 8 minutes.
minutes. It is literally just a highlight reel of young people going
Yeah.
great. I was exhausted watching it, bro. Like that was exhausting. So, and
Oh yeah,
you guys got fight of the night for it. It was an
yeah.
amazing match, mate. So, congrats to both of you guys on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it was a long 8 minutes even for me. I was gonna
Exhausting watching it. All right.
I was gonna go on there and do a backflip. I couldn't even backflip. I was gone. I was so tired.
So, with something like that, with like with Muhammad or anybody else who's coming up through the ranks, are there other matches for you that you look at and go, hey, like obviously you've got ADCC trials coming up, but are there other matches for you that you'd really want to take to get on, another show like FFC or whatever else it might be? Like, are there other matches for you that you'd chase?
Me personally, not really. I don't really like looking at opponents and like just being like, I really want to verse him. Like I really want to fight him. Like I don't really have a specific type. I just kind of wanna get on any show and fight as much as possible. Like I would love to fight as much as possible every single comp. It's just in my blood, you know. Like if I could compete every weekend, I will. Like I really love to. But this next step in my career of going into MMA is gonna be a fun one. I'm really excited.
Before we talk about the MMA, mate, any promoters who are out there and would like to get somebody like Jesse on, if you're looking to liven your show up, then I think, someone like Jesse brings that, that young energy, and you will get your crowd on your feet. Like you guys provide highlight after highlight after highlight. So any promoters out there or any shows that are kind of looking to liven things up, look no
Absolutely.
further than this guy right here. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I'll take on anyone and I'll be on any show. I'm really keen on anything.
Have you got any sponsors, Jesse?
I have a couple, yeah. So I'm sponsored by Engage. So they provide with like the best MMA nogi gear. I'm sponsored by Brass as well. They've been with me for a while now. They've been with me like almost my whole jiu-jitsu career, which is amazing. Shout out to Brass. They're honestly like really helpful. They've been helping me in my gym for a while, and just a real big thank you to them. Last one is my fit. It's my chef sponsor, so he gives me food, meal prep food when I'm cutting weight. He's a lifesaver. Fit and Healthy Chef is my third sponsor. Me personally, I hate cutting weight. It's the worst. And when he sends me out the food, it doesn't even feel like I'm cutting weight sometimes. But yeah, those two sponsors are honestly really helpful, and I just sponsors to me are like make my life so much easier, and I'm always appreciated and grateful for them. So I
Well,
just want to say thank you to my sponsors. Yeah.
yeah, well said, mate. You touched on your MMA, the start of your MMA career. Is
Yeah.
that where you would like all of this to end up? Is that kind of where you see yourself going, or have you mapped a path out? Like, where do you sit with all of that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've mapped it, but I've definitely have a clear vision of what I want in my future. I really want to get into the UFC. That's definitely my goal in my life is get in the UFC. So I'm gonna work my hardest. I want to have as many amateur fights as I need to on Eternal or just any MMA shows in Australia, and then I will hopefully have my professional debut either next year or the year after, and hopefully get into the UFC by I'm 20, 21. I really want to get in there young, and then I want to have as much fights in the UFC as I can, represent Australia. Like if you see Volkanovski, you see all those guys representing Australia. I think it's really cool to look up to those type of guys. Um, and I really just I want to be like I see all the pubs when all the Aussies are getting on the drinks and then watching the fights, just going crazy. I'd love for me to be on that screen and just be in Las Vegas and just kind of have that energy. But yeah, I really want to get into the UFC. That's my biggest dream.
Have you got anyone in your corner? Like, are you in touch with someone like Volkanovski or Jack Della? Like, do you sort of chat to those guys and look for pathways into the UFC?
Absolutely. I always try to get as much training as I can. My manager, Ash Bellicraja, he's the owner of Engage. He always has connections with Volkanovski, Dan Hooker, and all those type of guys. And whenever he can, he'll invite me over to come train with him. Last year, February, I was in UFC. I got invited over to watch the Dricus Duplessis and Strickland card, but I got invited over by Monster, which is really cool because of my dad. Um, and then when I was over there, I was chatting with Alex Volkanovski, and he said, "Yeah, you should come train with me. I was going to do a little training session down at the UFC gym." So I went to go train there. It was really amazing. I was there with Patchy Mix. He's a UFC fighter. Uriah Faber, Craig Jones, and Alex Volkanovski, and that was really cool. That was probably the coolest day ever. I was rolling with all those guys, and just having those connections now, and like if I see them, they'll know my face, which is really cool. I really like that as a young man, like having those guys to look up to and to talk to as my friends is awesome. I love it.
And Jesse, you don't, I think I know the answer to this, but you don't feel any pressure because of your surname. You don't feel like people are going to be, putting that horse before the cart kind of thing with you.
Nah, absolutely. Pressure is the thing that everybody feels no matter what. In my case, with the last name, it definitely has a lot of pressure to me, and I always try my best to not let that bother me. Because yeah, if you see the last name Parr, you're gonna expect the best, and just like the training never lies for me. I could have the last name Parr, and that doesn't mean I don't have to work hard. I probably work hard. I work hard than not a lot of 17-year-olds. I know there's definitely a lot of people that train harder than me, but the way I train is this is all I do. Like this is all my life is just fighting. I've sacrificed a lot of friends, I've sacrificed a lot of time. It's too late to not be in the sport full time for me because the too much has been sacrificed for me to be able to just say, I'm done. I'm planning to go all the way. I'm planning to retire when I'm like maybe 45, 50. And then I think even by then I'll still be doing jiu-jitsu comps. I'm not planning to stop anytime soon. But yeah, with the last name definitely creates tension. And I love the tension. I love the pressure. I have a strong mindset. Just it doesn't bother me at all.
I probably think, Jesse, with your surname, it also gives you something to live up to as well. Like with a family like yours, like it gives you it gives you a path to continue to follow, as opposed
Mhm.
to a weight. It can also be like a shining light for you too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely helps a lot with my career, and I'm just so grateful for the last name and just the path my dad built for me already. Like, if I wanted to, I could have gone to Muay Thai, but what's the chances Jordan Pa's son chose Jiu-Jitsu, you know? It's like who would have thought? Who would have thought he would have been a wrestler?
Does your dad train jiu-jitsu at all?
He did for a bit. Every now and then we'll be sparring and then he would shoot in a sneaky double leg and I'll be like, whoa, what is this? With my dad, he's ridiculously strong. He's when I'm rolling with him, he's still a white belt, but I can't do anything to him. But just because how strong he is. It might be the dad strength, it might be the 10-time Muay Thai world champion strength. I still haven't decided, I still haven't figured it out yet. But he did a little bit of gi with me, but I think I think he'll if he ever decides to do a competition, he'll do an Ogi competition. I want to see it. I want to see it with my eyes one day. My dad competing jiu-jitsu.
Oh, look out, look out. Um, Jesse, what does a typical training week look like for you? You mentioned that, you were overseas, you were training 5 hours a day. What's
Yeah,
it like? I mean, you're currently, we didn't tell our listeners, but you're currently in Fiji on your way
yeah.
back home, I
Just
assume.
on
But
vacation.
yeah, when you get back to Australia, what's a typical training week like?
So typical training week is throughout the morning. I'll wake up around 8 a.m. Leave for the gym around 8:30, and I'll have that. I'll start from 8:30, 8:45, 9 to like 11, 11:30, 11. And then between that time, I'll go for a run in the morning. Um, in Gold Coast, I'm fortunate enough to have really beautiful runs. So that's probably the only thing keeping me going with running because I sometimes really hate running, but no ifs or buts. So I'll go for a 6 kilometer run in the morning, come back to the gym, and I'll either do strength and conditioning or I'll do no-gi with Marley Gleaves. He's one of my friends. He's also got many titles under his name. So I'll do a little bit of no-gi drilling or strength and conditioning, however we're feeling with the body, and then we'll do some straight into Muay Thai at 9:30 to 10:30, and then after just stretching, cooling down for about 30 minutes, finishing at 11, and then go back home. And then that going back home, I have my mandatory nap. Me personally, I love my naps. I have about an hour 30 naps every day. Honestly, I think it's my biggest recovery naps. Without my naps, I'd crash throughout training the next day, like the next training. After that, so I'll nap from around 12 to 1, eat some lunch, refuel, just relax, keep the body, and then go back to the gym at 4. Arrive at the gym arrive at the gym at 4, go for a run. So that'll be my second run for the day, and then I'll go back to the gym, and then I'll have around some 4:45 to like 6:30 of just straight no-gi rolls or MMA or just pads, all a bunch of stuff, just staying busy for an hour 30, And then sometimes it gets real hot throughout the summer, throughout my gym. I got an old school gym. I got no aircon. I got no fans. So I literally just got straight heat. But yeah, around, so from 4 to 6:30, I will keep moving. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, I'll have an hour break, which I go get like a snack, a little protein bar or something. And then from 7:30 to 8:30, I have an hour of gi jitsu. And then I'll do that, and then go back home, finish at 8:30, go back home around 9, eat dinner, shower, all that bunch of stuff, and just get ready for tomorrow. So I'm waking up in the morning, training for 2 hours, going back home, refueling, going back to the gym in the afternoon, training from 4 to 8:30, just nonstop.
It's
So
a
it is 5 hours most days,
yeah.
even like when you're overseas or when you're back home.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely in America it's more intense with the training partners, but in Australia it's more chill. It's definitely more like on your pace kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely not easy. That's the one thing. Never an easy day.
How do you go from going from something like Muay Thai into Jiu-Jitsu? Are there any moments for you where you're like, oh, now I should leg kick? While you're doing Jiu-Jitsu, are you like, hang on, wait, stop? Like, do you ever have those? Because that's always one of the questions I have with people who do both, right? I'm like, yeah, but like mid-roll, are you trying to elbow someone? Like, what happens? Have you ever
No, me, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. Lucky enough, I would get in big trouble. What's funny about that? My mom was competing for the first time. She's also a world champion in Muay Thai. She was competing, and then she had a clinch grip like this, and she like faked a knee in the competition, and like I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And it was a really funny moment because me and my friends were watching, and we were like, oh man, it does, like, the Muay Thai never leaves the body. But I always make sure not to knee or elbow anyone. I'm really nice to roll with, so.
And you mentioned as well, Jesse, ADCC trials. So that's coming up in a couple of months.
Yeah.
How focused are you for that? Is that just kind of like a side quest, or are you like really going for that?
No, I'm really going for that. I think that would be really fun. I'd love to go to Vegas and compete in front of that world stage, but I'll definitely be training really hard for that. Yeah, I think it's in June, and then yeah, this is my first time fighting like proper adults because this is my first year adult year. Gonna be a little bit different from the juveniles, but I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Yeah, ADCC will be fun. I've never actually done like an ADCC comp before. So this would be interesting with all the heel hooks and knee bars and stuff. My knees are quite bad, so if anyone touches my knees, I'll get upset. I'll get upset with them.
and the year coming up, mate? So obviously ADCC trials, probably your first MMA fight, and
Yeah.
then things like World Gi and then No Gi. Is the World Gi Championships, is that on your radar at all, or not really?
At the moment, I haven't really talked about it yet with my professor, just to see, because with right now with how my career is going, I need to be doing a lot of no-gi.
Yeah,
Gi is really important. Don't get me wrong. I'll be training gi my whole life.
yeah,
I'm never gonna stop the gi.
yeah.
People that just train no-gi and they haven't done a gi class in their life, I think is crazy. I think it's like, how is that? How have they done that? But definitely it would be really good to do that. I've done it the last 2 years. Um, but I haven't talked about it yet, and we'll see because at the moment, no gi is my love at the moment.
Yeah.
And gi's good, gi's amazing, but just at the moment, not on the books yet.
come to Melbourne in the middle of winter, mate, and you'll be like, screw this no-gi stuff. Get on. Keep warm.
Oh man, Melbourne gets so cold. I don't know how you guys do it. I'll be in Gold Coast. My winter is shorts and a t-shirt with me. So
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Look, thank you so much, Jesse, for giving up your time. Like we said, you are like actually recording this while you're still on your transit back to Australia, or you're recording this
yeah,
from Fiji.
yeah.
We've just got a couple. Well, we normally ask a couple of questions for our listeners after this. Brentos, you might need to modify them slightly, given that Jesse's
No, I'll just
not
ask
yet
him.
an adult. But yeah,
No, no.
let's do it.
You can ask him. You can ask him. I don't mind.
He's like a young guy from a famous family. I reckon he's going to answer yes to some of these anyway.
I turned 18 in about 4 months. So you know,
See?
grown adult. Hey, I'm not allowed to drink alcohol because I'll have a Coke. I'll have a Coke full sugar on my birthday. All right.
All right, Jesse. iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
Strength or flexibility?
Ooh, strength.
Pasta or rice?
Pasta.
Steak or chicken?
Steak.
We know this one. Ghee or no ghee?
No ghee.
Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Yes. Bro, you know what's funny with that? I love pineapple on pizza so much that sometimes I ask for extra pineapple on pizza.
There you go.
Yeah.
Guard pull or takedown?
Takedown.
Nice, good work. All right, I've got two more, mate. These are the big ones.
All right.
First one, can you drive a manual car?
Oh, no. I can't.
But that's what, because you're only 17, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Well, I'll start learning. I'll start learning.
You got other priorities, mate. Get into the University.
I literally like just passed my L's, so.
Well done, mate. Step one.
Step one.
Learn in a manual car, so when we get you back on in 12 months.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, I can.
I think. Yeah. We definitely need. I need to get that. I need to get that manual sorted.
Yeah, I think so. And then the next one, mate, the last one. Do you wear Crocs?
I don't wear Crocs. I stopped wearing Crocs for a while. You know, I had that phase where I wore Crocs for about 2 years straight.
Oh, wow. And you stopped wearing them. We've not had that answer before, actually. That's great.
Yeah,
that's better than straight no.
I'm a retired Croc user, you know.
Mate, you've come from a good family. They've taught you well.
You're reformed. Very good.
They taught me well, you know.
Very good. Like
I bought my dad Crocs and he never wore them, and I thought that was kind of disrespectful. But you know, we won't mention that.
Very good. Thank you once again, Jesse, for coming on. As I said, I know you're super busy, and it's been great to get to know you. I'm sure our listeners will feel the same. We'll have this episode out in a couple of weeks, so if you could share it on your platform, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Brentos, you want to do the wrap up?
Yeah, mate. First up, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. It's awesome to get to know you, as Kim said. And I think from the outside looking in, mate, you really know what you want. You're really chasing it. You're putting yourself in the best situation to be able to, live your dreams and accomplish your goals, mate. So all the absolute very best for that going forward. I'm pretty sure you're going to make those dreams come true, mate. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is really fun.
Very mature head on a 17-year-old shoulders. You've probably got more maturity than some people double your age. So it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely being around adults my whole life. Definitely made that. And then just, again, jiu-jitsu created me not as an athlete, but as a person as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it, guys. That's it for another episode of Roll or Die. We appreciate you guys listening. Remember, share this episode. This is a great one for not only, the usual listeners, but your kids too. Like Jesse, as he said, he's 17, turning 18. He's already accomplished a lot. He's gone through some stuff. So for young kids who are listening to this, get on board, support other young fighters or young grapplers coming up, because you guys are the future. And as a guy who's turning 53 this year, mate, I'm dead set scared to roll with you, bro. You're crazy. But I look forward to doing it one day, mate. I really will. That's it.
I thought you were like 40, 42 at least.
What was that?
I thought you were like 42 at least.
Oh, God, you're a nice fella. Bloody hell, eh? When you were saying before the oldest guy I've ever rolled with, I was waiting for you to say like 43.
Same.
43. I'm like, oh, he was old. No.
He was so old, he was like 40.
Yeah.
Well done, mate. Appreciate you guys listening to this one. Thank you, Jesse. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Family, and we will see everybody on the next episode of Roll or Die. Peace.